I'm the Bald Book Geek, and this is my book haul of the month. If you're wondering why I'm filming in my living room, it's like 1,000,000 degrees. My house is boiling, and the UK, like many places in the world right now, is suffering with a heat wave from hell. And it's just, I don't do this weather at the best of times. I mean, the UK has had the weirdest weather this year. We've gone from summer to summer-like weather, snowmageddon, to this. I never thought I'd ever say, but I'm waiting for it to rain. Save my garden, because my garden is literally dead right now. Let's get on with this book haul, shall we? First things first, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Dust. I love this series. Titan sent me this, and they've sent me a few of the others in this series. I love them. I absolutely love them. I think they're fantastic, really enjoyable. And they also sent me another Sherlock Holmes, Devil and the Four. So this is part of their main Sherlock series by different writers, and this one's a different book altogether. I'm a Sherlock Holmes geek, and I eat anything up that's Sherlock Holmes related. So when they sent me an email, would I be interested? I jumped at it. I received Melmoth by Sarah Perry. This book I've talked about in a video on its own. It's fantastic. There's a little way to go before the final version comes out. This is a proof, and I'm blown away. I love Sarah Perry. The Essex Serpent and After You Comes the Flood are two amazing books, and this proves no different. It's beautifully written. I love the language. It's dark, it's creepy, it's gothic, just phenomenal. Scary, very scary, and gave me a few nightmares. But I've talked about this in a video on its own, so if you're interested, please find that video. The War in the Dark. I talked about this in a wrap-up recently. A supernatural Cold War adventure novel with demon hunting. Absolutely fantastic. A really enjoyable romp. I have to say, isn't that cover pretty? And I also put this in, which I think is quite cool. But yeah, phenomenal book. Really enjoyed it. I've read it. I've talked about it in wrap-up. And it's kind of the book that screams to me. I would have bought this. This is the kind of book I would buy. So I was quite happy with that. This isn't so much a new book, but The Illustrated Mum by Jacqueline Wilson. So completely at random, this was my copy from many years ago, and it was found in one of my mother's boxes. She still had it, and Jacqueline Wilson was one of my favourite writers as a child. It's been quite nice to revisit this. A book about a mother with bipolar disorder and her children. It's quite, I always forget how dark Jacqueline Wilson can be. The Cabin at the End of the World. Again, this was sent to me by Titan. I screamed at the chance to read this because of the few people I know had said to me, you need to get your hands on this book. Boy, they were right. I mean, dear God. Fantastic read. Freeze if you want to read the back. But yeah, I'm really pleased. The Hidden World. Now, this is not a book I would have picked up, but then I saw that it was written by someone who wrote a lot of Star Trek. I'm very, very pleased and very surprised they sent me this. So yeah, I'm a Star Trek fan, I'm a Star Trek geek, and the fact that the writer of this novel wrote some Star Trek episodes, I jumped at it. I like science fiction, I like good science fiction. So here it is. Only thing I will say, just pure book OCD, this is a final copy and it's kind of busted. Maybe it got just bent in the post. I only killed him once. Again sent to me by a publisher. I like this kind of detective novel. It's kind of pulp fiction-y. It's a pulp fiction novel and it just screamed at me to get it. I love, how do I put it? I love this kind of pulp fiction. It's kind of steampunky, science fiction-y, pulp fiction detective novel. It kind of looks out there. It's the kind of book I would pick up, so I thought I'll take a risk with it. Terry Pratchett, The Lone Earth. I've read a lot of Terry Pratchett in my life, but I've never read his science fiction stuff, so when I saw this in my library sale for 10p, I jumped at it. So I can't wait to get my teeth into this. I know there's a trilogy of these, so I do want to read the rest. Got the old beaten up library copy as well. I just want to see what it's like. I keep hearing so many amazing things. Fans of, basically, friends are all saying the same thing. You really need to give this a go. really neat. You'll enjoy it. So we'll see what it's like. I know nothing about it, by the way. The Ice Child. I love Nordic crime, so this was in the library sale for, again, 10p or whatever it was. So I jumped at it. I know nothing about it, but I love Nordic crime, as I've said, and it just actually looks really good. I ended up reading the first quarter of it in the library and then waiting for the bus. It's obviously got wet at some point, but I love old library books. I'm late to the party, but a Skin Full of Shadows. So many people kept telling me that this is really good, a dark fairy tale. It kind of screams up my alley, so I had to. And also, how pretty is that cover? Just side note, the prettiness. This was in Oxfam for like £2, so I had to get it. I had to. I can't wait to give it a go. I've talked about this in another video, and it was brilliant, so definitely not disappointed at all. The Comic Seekers. I own this in paperback, and it's one of my favourite novels. But I always, for some reason, books I really love, I try and get in hardback, and The Comic Seekers is one of them. It's a beautifully written book. It deals with two souls that meet across history. It deals with reincarnation whenever this comet is in the sky, and it's beautiful, and it's gut-wrenching, and I love it. Finally, by Gaslight. I've read this, I loved it. I love Victorian novels. I love this kind of Victorian London crime, very dark. But this is Industrial Revolution. It goes to the Americas and other places. It's fantastic, and I was so happy to see this in the works for like £3. So, have you guys read any of those books? It'll be fascinating to see if you have. I know you love me. XOXO.